Well, hello there. I am with Ange Muyubira today, speaking to us from Uganda today, and I'm so grateful. Welcome, Ange. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Idelette. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. So, Ange, you are the founder and CEO and owner of Kaz'o'zah, can you tell us more about Kaz'o'zah, please?
So Kaz'o'zah, starting with the meaning of the name, it means future and it implies a bright future. And the goal is to have a bright future for artisans, not art, even though it goes with art, but I really wanted to put a high emphasis on artisans and everything about them.
Wonderful.
So in that, what we do, we provide skills development to make modern artisanal products to artisans, and really want to value what it is that we do. So I would say that we very much, humans are really at the heart of what it is that in that we find. But then it's not just about them getting an income, even though we want them to be self-sufficient from their hard work and from their talent, but we also want for them to take care of their families and to contribute to the development of their economy. So each and every piece, however small it can be, does help to bring that goal come to pass.
That's beautiful. And so how many people, how many artisans do you work with?
So far, this journey that started 8 years ago is now rapidly growing. We are reaching almost 1,200 artisans in Burundi and in Uganda.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Wow. So now it's growing very, very fast. In this past year, that's where we went to 500 plus.
Wonderful.
From last year.
Where does this passion come from?
So my passion comes from, I would say myself, I've always loved art. I've always loved, I would say, being creative and transforming things. And I like making people and places beautiful. I just love it. And and I'm also very passionate about my country, about my people, about my heritage. But unfortunately, I got to find out that not much is known about Burundi. I felt almost a bit invisible, like when I was living in the West, and then I'll go in certain like stores from supermarkets and see teas from Kenya and see things from Uganda and see things, like the entire East Africa, and only miss my own, and would even be more heartbroken when an African will ask me where Burundi comes from. So it feels, I would say, almost like being a family member and not being acknowledged or recognized as a person. And I've made it my point to at least have the product speak louder and have people ask where they come from, so that the country gets to be known that way.
Yes. Wow, what a beautiful ambassador. I love that. Yes. So, your story has taken you globally as well, right? You spend a lot of time overseas.
Yes, I've spent 15 years in a row living in different countries. This was from the civil war we had in Burundi in 1993, 94. So I went from West Africa, Niger, where I did a year. I did 3 years in Kenya. I did 10 years in England. I did a year in Canada and the States. And then I still continue traveling every month, actually, from the time I returned. So yeah, I love traveling. Luckily, I love traveling.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, no, we're definitely heart sisters there. Oh, I love the world.
Mm-hmm.
and to bring the goodness that is and the beauty from Burundi. I love that you are sharing that. And between
Yes.
you and Claude and Kelly, like it feels like at SheLoves, we talk a lot about Burundi.
Yes. Have you been to Burundi?
I have been twice.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So next time I would love to see you. Yeah. Next time.
Yeah, and please, please promise you another spice of yeah, and
No.
allow me to have you have that journey.
Thank you. So okay, so tell us about the backpacks and the sandals idea that you came up with, please.
Yeah. So this is really something that's so close to my heart, among many other things. And as opposed to what I just told you about bringing Burundian products abroad to really emphasize on that identity, this is something that I really wanted to do to my own people. And I have a very strong heart to children. I teach Sunday school now. This is my 19th year. And I've seen how, unfortunately, in the city capital, where we're supposed to be developed, you get kids that walk bare feet, and walking with plastic bags or something. Like when it rains, they'll put them in their clothes, and it's just not right to have that in the capital city. Now you can imagine what it will be in the countryside. So being uncomfortable with that was one thing. And then the second thing was that we have a lot of artisans. I would say that the artisanal sector is the second sector after the agricultural sector. But unfortunately, it's not well developed, or people are not encouraged to be making products, handmade products that respond to a need, and going to that extent. So I thought about mixing the two, putting the two together, and most importantly, having like young people making products for children, like younger people, like young people responding to a need of young people. So this was something that I sat uncomfortably with, but I did not know how to go about it. And I would say that I got a bit cheeky when there was this project I was told to be part of, which is a project funded by the Dutch government for peace building. And how they wanted to go about that, they had noticed that young people have been used a lot by politicians, and to prevent that to happen before like the next elections. And they were like, how about giving skills and entrepreneurial skills to young people, so that by the time of the elections, it comes when they have their small businesses and when they are busy. So that funding was available to provide particular training. So I thought to myself that since I was being given a platform to choose what they could be trained on, then I said, why not do that? Why not train them to make shoes and bags, and train as many young people as possible so that they make these products, and so that we also help them to market the products, knowing that it's going to be an ongoing market, because it's timeless, right?
Right.
So that's how we got to that.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
So my heart is still sort of back where you were saying that kids are walking with plastic bags for their books or for their pencils or whatever in the street, even in Bujumbura, right?
Yes, correct.
Just so
yeah.
But now you have a backpack and go to school with so much pride.
Yes, very much so. And it's just I took that picture, and it's a picture that sat with me really uncomfortably. And I told that to I like to tell that to Burundians, actually. As I said, it's something where I say, how do you feel about that? Because we would never think about that in the capital city, and yet those are, you know, realities. And instead of us feeling sorry, I'm like, okay, change, you know, one thing at a time, you know.
Yeah, we can do something.
One trip, yeah, let's one trip to the hairdressers, one trip to the bar, you know, and put shoes and a backpack too.
I love it.
Yeah, and build a brick.
Totally, I love it. It's so great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and so yeah, now you have lots of artisans working on this and that have been trained to do this. That's fantastic.
Yes.
So what would you like your SheLoves sisters to know about this or about this project? Anything else you'd like to add?
So what I would like to add is also something very important. I took a great pleasure at designing these shoes and thinking about, you know, the children, the ones that are going to be wearing them. So the shape that they have is, it allows them air, so when it's hot they can breathe, and also it protects the toes so that when they walk, you know, pass on stones, it doesn't hurt them. But I also enjoyed putting a little bit of like kitenge fabric on it and really make products that are, you know, shoes that don't look like charity, but that look trendy and nice, and you know, and matching backpacks. So that to me shows that any child has the right to have something that's beautiful regardless of their social status, you know. And I felt really privileged to have a say to that.
And they are beautiful. They really are. When I got the first of the sandals in the back, I'm like, you just feel the pride. You're just like,
yes,
whoa, this is beautiful, right?
Exact.
Like,
exactly.
Oh, I just like, it's, you know, yeah. I just felt the Burundi.
Yes, and also it's because it's also a design that's not very common. So like the young people who learn to make those, you know, they were very excited seeing like, wow, am I going to be able to make that? And we're like, yes, you're going to make that, you know. And plus in those classes, the ones that have been trained to make them, it's not been like just bucket, I didn't want to say bucket planking, but it's not been like just training them to make those products, but they've received also like additional courses like on good entrepreneurship, good management, money, financial literacy, you know. So from any shoe that's being purchased and the income that goes to artisans, they are well educated to be able to support their families and be sustained, you know, have a sustainable income and have a small business. So it's, I would say, I don't like to say we're killing one bird with two stones. I don't like to kill birds, but
yes.
Yeah, but it's definitely from one giving, a lot is being done and at a sustainable level.
It is, you know, you've come up with a design. It's very popular here to think about design thinking, and you've come up with design thinking for a problem in your country, and it's beautiful. And we're so grateful to partner with you and just to come alongside, just to be part of this story.
Really. Yeah, no, likewise. Yeah, you know, it's one thing to have a dream, but it's another to have that dream being shared. I can't even tell you, you know, what that is. Yeah, I can just tell you what that is. Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, right. And that's how we do it. And, you know, and then these artisans turn around and they invest like you are investing in your community and in the world, right? And yeah, and then just right. And so yeah, and let me tell you, the people on this side are rising too, and we've got some, you know, beautiful stories coming out on this side of people who are sacrificing and saying, you know, I remember when I was hungry, or when I didn't have enough to wear, and somebody yesterday sponsored 11 backpacks and said, can somebody else, you know, I'll double that. And so just things like that. These are people rising and saying, I know, you know, I connect with the story. Belong to each other, right? So yeah,
absolutely. But can I tell you something else? You know, your gesture, you all's gesture has, as I just said to you, I was out of words to express what it made me feel, but certainly it has given me strength to go and talk to my own people and say like, how come people on the other side of the continent are responding to this, to resolve issues of our people, And I said, that was never my intention. It was never my intention for outsiders to be the ones responding to this. It was for you to respond to this. So you've definitely given me a big oomph. And it's almost like shame.
Oh. Oh. We gotta do it together, because I there's more shoes and backpacks that need to, on all this and all for all the kids in Burundi, right? So yeah. There.
Exactly. There's so many that don't, but it's amazing. Thank you so much for quickly responding, for having a receptive and sensitive heart, because it's just something that we can be taking for granted, because there's so many needs and there's so many, it's not obvious that people will respond to that, especially when you're not responded. So global good should be celebrated, and I'm very, very grateful on behalf of my own people.
Oh, all the love. I love it. Yeah, global good should be celebrated. Yeah, we're with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I love that I got to talk to you. Like this is
yes. You just said something and I did not even realize that I said that. I guess it's with the emotion and and being overwhelmed, like I did not realize that I said global good, and it's exactly what it is.
I know, right?
Yes.
Here we go.
No boundaries.
And love can drive us and carry us, and yes, so let's do it together.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Thank you so much, Ange. Thanks for your time, and I look forward to just continuing walking this journey together. Thanks.
Absolutely. The pleasure is mine. Thank you.
Much love.
Okay.